with very few days to close the year, and with that, I want to wish you a happy new year come 2024. And with that, let's first have a look at what is making rounds in the headlines.
In the headlines tonight, the delayed completion of the 103-kilometer Koboko-Yumbe-Moyo road attributed to corruption. Luke Barakari executives want constitution amended after vetting committee declares Yuma. And in sports, Onduparaka FC finishes first round unbeaten at home. This and more in the NILE CAST News Bulletin.
All right, and welcome back. And to begin off the news bulletin with, due to the delayed completion of the 103-kilometer road of Koboko to Yumbe connecting to Moyo, leaders in the Western region have attributed the failure of completion to corruption and mafianism within Uganda National Roads Authority and the World Bank Uganda branch procurement processes. Take a look at the story.
Due to the delayed completion of the 103-kilometer Koboko-Yumbe-Moyo roads project, leaders in the West Nile region have attributed the failure to take off the project construction to the corruption and mafia regime within Uganda National Roads Authority and the World Bank Uganda branch procurement processes. This was revealed by Job Matwa, the Chief Executive Officer for the Organization for Transparency Advocacy, during an interview with West Nile Television.
3 directors in UNIRA, Uganda National Roads Authority, and 1 mafia in World Bank Uganda branch have connived to frustrate the award of contract to the best evaluated contractor by evaluation committee of UNIRA. Now, the contractor that is supposed to be given this contract has not been accepted by that person in World Bank Uganda branch who has a peculiar interest, who has ulterior motive in the project. These people want the contract to be given to another company which has been known for doing Sogi Road, the company that did the road from Oluyo to Gulu and did the work in Mirama Hill in Western Uganda. These people want that company to be awarded that contract. And I want to tell you that company, first of all, does slow work. Second, does the poor work. May do a road, and within 5 years, that road begins to develop pothole. So we must come together as people of Northern Uganda, because that road is very, very strategic and is very, very important to open up Northern Uganda.
Job Richard Matwa stated that the directors in the Uganda National Roads Authority and the mafias within the World Bank Uganda branch have convened to frustrate the awarding of the contract to the best evaluated contractor by the evaluation committee of UNRA.
So what happened is that the World Bank Uganda team leader, one you will read the name there in those documents, called Ivan Emmanuel Monda, and some 3 UNRA directors want to award the contract to Zongome company, which is having their interest. Yet the UNRA best evaluated team, the UNRA evaluation committee evaluated CICO, this company. Now, they have submitted 3 times, and that person at World Bank is about to back that submission. Because once the approval of the grant is done and the grant is remitted to Uganda, then construction of the road can start. And World Bank can only approve the grant and release the grant when the contractor is approved by World Bank. So now these 3 UNIRA directors and that World Bank Uganda team leader are the one frustrating, actually sabotaging construction of that road, because they want it to be given to Zongome company. Now I will tell you that Zongome did the road from Oluyo to Gulu and another road on Mirama Hill. They do very poor work. First of all, they are very slow, and then they do substandard work.
According to the Uganda National Roads Authority Project Status Report 2023, the civil works for the upgrading of the 103-kilometer Koboko-Yumbe-Moyo road from gravel to paved standard is at 92% completion. Okumaringa Christine for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
Welcome back and more in the stories. Following the declaration of Aivu Cultural Chief as the paramount chief of Lugbarakari, known as Agofe by the Cultural Institution Selects Committee, the executives Lugbarakari, the cultural institution led by the Prime Minister, expressed dissatisfaction, calling for a constitutional review, and Frederick Dramadri has more details of the story.
Following the declaration of Aivu Cultural Chief as the paramount chief of the Lugbarakari, known as the Agofe by the Cultural Institutions Select Committee, the executives of the cultural institution, led by the Prime Minister, expressed dissatisfaction, calling for a constitutional review.
We are now going to enter into where people will accuse us against our own law.
According to the Lugbara cultural norms described as the Constitution, the Lanka of the Lugbara best referred to the parliament comprising of the clan chiefs with the Agofe on the top as the supreme leader, whose technical officers are the Prime Minister and his cabinet in case there is need to replace any Agofe of the Lugbara. The person must have come from the ranks of the cultural clan leadership, at least has a minimum of advanced level of education, a mature person aged 59 years and above, who should have applied for the position as declared by the Select Committee and is elected by the General Assembly following recommendations from the Select Committee. The cabinet of the Lugbara believed that the constitution is inconsistent and could attract legal implications once challenged in courts of law.
The constitution, I think, was an expert's idea, but not very consistent in terms of the culture of the Lugbara. So that is what we want to correct. That's what we want to correct before we move ahead.
Edziku Eli, the chairman of the Select Committee, justifies that the decision of the Select Committee to front Yuma Amukumanase, the cultural chief of Aivu, as the paramount chief of Lugbarakari, is based on the guidelines provided in the 2011 Lugbara Constitution.
We only got two applications, one from His Highness Yuma Manase Amuko, two from Right Honorable Tuku Ismail. Since there is a guideline in the Constitution how to come up with Agofe, we are guided to say that only one person qualified. That is none other than His Highness Yuma Manase Amuku. Tuku did not qualify because he did not start his election right from the ground level. He jumped in the middle. So he did not qualify. And for us, as a council of elders, that's why we closed the election. And we declared Yuma Manase Amuku the fourth Agofe of Lugbarakari.
Yuma Mkumanase, the cultural leader for Aivu County, who is awaiting for his installation, confirms that there is no need to change the constitution since the Agofe is not yet in place to endorse the document.
Because that's this month when my Right Honorable Prime Minister stepped down for me. He said now he is not interested now in the Agofism. So that means, according to the Constitution, I'm the only candidate who has remained for Lugbarakari. So I got a letter from Select Committee which has declared me the Agofe of Lugbarakari.
Since the abolition of the cultural institutions in 1967 under the leadership of Milton Obote and later restoration by President Museveni, many cultural institutions, including Lugbarakari, are still struggling to bounce back. Frederick Dramadri, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
Welcome back and more in the stories. Thousands of mourners comprising of family members, relatives and politicians and other various stakeholders gathered in Zaipi village, Ajuman district, to pay their last respect to Honorable Festus Lokumakadem, who has been the councillor representing Zaipi to Ajuman district local government. Take a look at the story.
Councillors, friends and the bereaved family members among other various stakeholders gathered at Council Hall in Adjumant District yesterday on 28th December 2023 to pay their last respect to Honorable Loka Festus Makadama, who has been councillor representing Zaipi Sub-County to Adjumant District local government. The event started with the lighting of the candlebearum to honor the body as protocols and the rules directly focused on utilizing the lead. While chairing the council in dear honor of the body, Olanya Jackson, the district speaker, appealed to fellow councillors to emulate the legacy left by the late, saying late was a man advocated in for freedom and democracy and personnel who believes in unity and holds true virtue of humanity and has been ascertaining effective representation of his own people in the office of council. Honorable Anyanjo Njon, the councillor representing Siforo Sub-County, who visited the late at the hospital, says, as the leadership of the place, they tried their best to save his life, but in vain, since it was time for him to be with the Lord.
Very clear. I arrived at Mulaku when I found the woman member of parliament was there and just left. And immediately I arrived there and I called the Mali doctors who are in Mulaku. I am giving this information to show that we leaders have done what it takes. And I'm happy to say that the son, when immediately I left Mulaku the day before, and we agreed on that day what should be done, what we agreed on was done, and the son confessed that we have tried what we can. But this was the time that God wanted his life with him.
Speaking at the funeral, Honorable Ababiku Jeska, the woman member of parliament for Adjumant District, eulogized the late as an advocate of peace and unity.
Amata ni amamba rudiari podrusi okotinara okotasi ako tarikata jutsoropo lilini kolea esu ruaruse ravozora joeti ta ayale bako yakuni dikpe kidara re yare agajo tiosirura kolengwi kibalori bisiamba lokani ebe amata losoritro.
Speaking at the barrel, Taban Latapita, the Adjumant Resident District Commissioner, appreciated the unity exhibited by the leaders at the funeral as he called upon them to carry on with the unity.
I've seen the unity, the commitment of the leadership and the people in sitting together, working together, crying together, showing a sign of support to the families that have lost their dear ones. And it is my only pleasure to tell you that we continue with this heart. Thank you so much, the district leaders, the councillors, and everybody.
Honorable Loka Festus Makadam, who has been councillor representing Zaipi Sub-County to Adjumant District local government, passed on from Mulago National Hospital due to a motor accident and was buried in Zaipi Sub-County. Onzima Alan and Benson Pastore reporting for West Nile Television. viewers, my name is Oraku Benson Pastor, and we are still continuing with West Nile Television, NILE CAST News, and we are already into the segment of sports, and let's start with what is happening in Big League. The first round, or the first phase of Bet Power FUFA Big League came to climax yesterday. And in one of the games played yesterday, we saw Ontoparka playing a goalless, whereas a barren draw with the team of Police. And that one makes Ontoparka finishing the first phase of the season unbeaten at home. And out of the 7 games they've played, they have won 5 of them, and the 2 end in a draw. Let's take a look at the reported story. Ontoparka Football Club continues with its fine run of form at home in Bet Power FUFA Big League. This is after playing a barren draw with Police Football Club yesterday in the final game of the first phase of the season in Bet Power FUFA Big League. The draw leaves Ontoparka in 9th position with 17 points. Meanwhile, the visiting team called Police maintains its position as the log leaders with 31 points.
I'm very happy about the results of today against the table leaders. I'm really extremely happy. The boys played according to instruction, as much as we wanted the 3 points, but a point getting a point against number 1, it is better. And I think we played very well from the defense. They were organized. The midfield was also organized, commanded by Yakini. Even the striking line commanded by Coach Okuti, and that is really okay. And I'm really happy for the fan. They came very many, really fan of Ontoparka. We love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting us. We expect more to come. More to come in this team, because now they are adopting the system that I want them to play. They have started adopting the system that I want them to play. I had a short time with them, but now when we start second round, I know we shall go further. We are not supposed to be where we are. We are supposed to be, this team is supposed to be promoted to Super League.
I can talk few about the game. The game didn't go the way we wanted it, but 1 point is not bad. And what I can say to our fans that next round, in the second round, we are going to make it better for them. We shall give them that happiness. I know first round we have disappointed them, but they should come back. They should not leave us behind, because we are going to give them the best in second round. The message which I can give my colleague players that they should go home and rest for like 2 days, then they should start training, because the Ghana Cup is near, of which is starting next month, so they have to train very hard for the next round and for the Ghana Cup.
The game has been well. Guys played well. The display was fine. It came as a draw, a result that we never expected and that we never wanted. But of course, in football, those things happen. And for the players, what I can say is that they should not give up. Football is like that. The result has come. We just have to take it. And in the next game, they need to put enough. And the player, I know it's going to be in the next half of the season. That is on the aspect of the players. They just need to be motivated and they play. For the fans, you know, football is all about love, and the love for the club is what pushes you. So all I can say to the fans is that we should not give up as fans, but we should do what we can do to motivate our players and to motivate the whole club. You know, it's something that is in our blood to love a club. So we do it for the sake of the club, not for our own good, and it's for the love of the game. That is the game, and football, everything happens. Anything happens in football. It has happened, and we take it the way it has gone. And football is for peace and it's for love.
Actually, it was not the way we expected. We came here with the tension of win. Everything right, never what we expected that to happen. We got only 1 point from here, which is not good. To get also a point from away is not good. It's not easy to get a point from away. Actually, the game we played, the chance we had, not use it maximum. So the game was ended to draw. We respect our fans. Yeah, I'm coming back. Be patient. Next season we shall get back to Premier League.
In total, Ontoparka played 7 home games in the first round, winning 5 and drawing 2 of them. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television, NILE CAST Sports News. After the first phase of the season in Bet Power FUFA Big League, this is how the table standing is now looking like. On top is Police, that is having 31 points. Second is Lugazi. Third on the log is Mbale Heroes. Meanwhile, down in the relegation zone, we have got teams like Chetume, you talk about in Deja University, Young Elephant, and lastly, Jinza North United. Still into more of the stories, we are still within the country and discussing national sports. Getting to what is happening in StarTimes Uganda Premier League, the poor run of form continues for the team of Arua Hill Sports Club that's based in Western region, particularly in Arua City, after yesterday being humiliated by 7-1 by the team called Airtel Chitara. That one wasn't the only game played in StarTimes Uganda Premier League in match day 13. Yesterday there was also a game between UPDF and the team of KCA. KCA won it by 2-1 over UPDF, and the team of Bull FC were 0-0 winners over Busoga in Jinja Derby. And as I talk right now, there is a game going on between NEC FC and the team of Soltino Bright Stars. And earlier on we had a game between URA as they were 3-0 winners over Mbara based side called Mbara City. Let's finalize everything with what is coming in English Premier League. Yesterday we had 2 games on the card. We saw the team of Brighton and Hove Albion winning over Spurs by 4-2. But the biggest of it was between the Gunners and the team of West Ham, as we saw West Ham beating Arsenal by 2-0. And the goal scorers were Mavropanos, their former player, and at the same time the man who comes from Czech Republic, Sozik, also getting himself into the score sheet. That means Arsenal, they are now second on the log, and the team that's currently leading the table is Liverpool with the 42 points and Arsenal with the 40 points. And that one also brings us to the end of the first phase of the season in English Premier League, but the games are bouncing back tomorrow. With that, I should say we have come to the end of today's edition of NILE CAST Sports News. It has been me, Benson Pastore, in front of the camera. We'll link up again tomorrow for the same program of NILE CAST Sports News.
All right, well, thank you, Oraku Benson Pastore, for the sports update. And with that, we come to the end of today's edition of the NILE CAST News Bulletin with me, Farish Majid. And from me to you is a good evening and Happy New Year. Thank you.